Hey, this is Jason from In Stuff Music, and we're in the YouTube room today. We're about ready to show you the new 90s Dual Rectifier Head. This thing is iconic. It pretty much every high gain amp in the 90s. This is what people wanted to hear, and it's incredible. It brings you back to the 90s Dual Rectifier when it had 2 channels before they started making all the changes. I had an original 2-channel rack mount head back in the day. It was probably my favorite amp. Wish I wouldn't have got rid of it, but here it is. We have another one, and we got some friends that are gonna play through this and show you some sounds and how awesome it sounds. It's 100 watts. This one has 6 L6s in it. You could also load EL34s in it. 2 channels. You got a orange vintage channel, a red modern channel, and you can switch over to the green, which would be your clean channel. And that is one thing that they did improve upon in the new 90s Dual Rectifier channel. The clean channel is much better than it used to be. But the massive sound of bass, mid, and just gain is just like it was, and it's incredible. I'm excited for you guys to hear it. I hope you enjoy it. If you love it, give us a call. Visit us online at instuffmusic.com, and you can buy it right there. Thanks, guys. Enjoy.
Hey man, I'm Dog, and this is End Stuff Music, and I'm sitting here with my good friend Mike Palone from the band you probably know of, Skell, and a little formerly before that, Whiskey High, which you've heard some riffs him playing today as well. So thanks for coming in.
Thank you,
Jamming some guitar. We appreciate you being here today, and man, you're a staple. You are a staple here, and I'm happy to have you on the stage and just making some noise for this bad boy.
Oh, thank you. I'm more like a virus. I just won't go away, you know? I'm still here.
You're like a vampire. Dude, you just
I don't
never
drink
age.
blood.
You never age. God bless you. I love it.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me. It's really fun to come in and try some new equipment. I love End Stuff Music. I've been buying gear here since, like, let's just say a really long time. Yeah, we'll go with that.
So there's a story behind you coming to End Stuff. You bought one of your first amps here, right?
Yes, and I think the amp you're talking about, I bought a Moss valve power amp off you guys.
That's what it was.
Real early on.
Yeah.
Certainly over 30 years ago. Back when I was using a Bradshaw switching system, and I had like a preamp and stereo cabinets and all that good stuff.
So, what do you think about the new '90s MESA Rectifier? You've had a chance to play through it. Everybody talks about feel and sound and how the amp responds, and I'm a drummer, so you got to explain that to me in layman terms.
You're a guitar player too. We both know it. I've seen you. Okay, to answer your question, it's pretty darn good. I'll tell you, I would personally like to crank it up even a little more, like to the level of like a hard-hitting drummer, you know, to see how it bounces. And I'm sure it would just get better in that pocket zone because those amps start to really push the mid, you know. It's wide, it's sizable, it's got the gain I need, but it still has the punch. That's the thing I'm always looking for in an amplifier is the punch. It doesn't have to necessarily shake my pant leg. However, if the sound man will let me get away with it, I'll take it, you know? But basically, when I hit the A chord, bam, I want them speakers to go, poof, you know? I want to feel that little oomph. So when the drummer hits, the bass player hits, the guitar player hits, the band has impact and push, and that's what I'm looking for. And you can get that from this. So that's a big plus for me.
From an engineer standpoint, if I didn't know anything about this amp, I wouldn't know where to start. So I had a little bit of time before you guys came in to play, and I was messing with knobs and the switches on the back and like the effects loop, making this the master volume. So it's pretty versatile. And I've been in a number of bands with a number of guys that played through these, and that like you were saying, that punch, and you could really get it when you feel your band members, your bass player and your drummer and your guitar player, when you hit that, man, that one or that wherever that two is, wherever that accent is, and everybody's just right there. That just coming through that head it's pretty amazing stuff. Mr. Palone, it's good to see you. Thank you for coming in and jamming.
Always
Again,
pleasure.
this is Mikey P.
Look for the rebirth of Skell. Skell's had our ups and downs. We've had some issues. You know, we lost some people over the years, but we're back. We got a couple shows coming up. We got some recording coming up. Keep your eyes open for Skell in 2025.
Maybe I'll try to get Mojo to open up.
Perfect.
I love it.
All right, brother.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Hey, Dog, I'm back. You just heard from my man, Steve Jackson. You are familiar with Stevie because he's been here for what, 75 years or something?
24 years.
24 years?
24 years.
If you don't know, Steve runs our used department. We have the greatest used selection gear in Pittsburgh and probably online if you want to go that far. I would put that behind Stevie's name. So, but thanks for coming in and checking out the new MESA. Yeah, the Dual Rectifier Solo Head.
Absolutely.
And you get a lot of used gear you mess around with, but how often do you get to come in here and shoot some videos with us, man?
You know what? I don't get a chance very often.
You should do it more often.
They keep me busy out there. You know, as long as you teach me the riffs, I'll play.
Right. That's for another video.
Yeah.
But anyway, so here we are. We got the new MESA, the '90s Rectifier Head. What'd you think about it, man?
You know what? This thing's pretty brutal. It's that sound like, you know, back in high school, you know, if you didn't have a dual rectifier,
you were kind of out. You weren't in the cool kids
Yeah.
club, I guess.
That's right.
Maybe.
That's right. That was the sound. That was the sound of everything that was going on as far as hard rock and metal at the time.
Yeah, dude, he played a bunch of familiar riffs. Like, I mean, I'm sure you heard some Bizkit in there, and a little bit of Godsmack, and some what else you had? Some Drowning Pool, possibly.
Some Drowning Pool there. That was a couple.
All over the place.
Yeah.
But man, there's so many iconic sounds with this amp that you've heard from back in the day, even currently. I mean, there's still people using these amps to this day, which is why they're putting it out again. People want access to it.
Absolutely.
So, man. But what else you have for me, man? Anything else?
you
Why'd
know-
you pick this guitar?
You know what? I picked this guitar because we jumped around in a few different tunings, and I wanted to have something that was fixed bridge, so I could go from what was it? Drop C sharp,
Something crazy.
drop C,
Yeah.
half step down, standard drop D. I figured I'd grab, this ESP here. It's fixed bridge. It has these bare knuckle pickups in it. I thought it could
Sounded ripping.
really just, give you that sound that we were hunting for,
Yeah.
So
Cool.
absolutely.
Well, there it is again, man. Stevie J, Rue Dog, and the MESA 90s Dual Rectifier.
Absolutely.
Pick it up here. Buy it here.
Please
Buy
do.
it here. As many
Please
as you
do.
want. We'll sell you two. They're small.
I'll sign it for you.
He'll sign it for you. All right. Thank you.